passion of serving the world at the highest level using the gifts that God has uniquely given you, brother. Congratulations. I know it's just the scratching the surface of all that God's going to continue to do through you as you powerfully serve the world at the highest level. Congratulations. 12 years. Freaking phenomenal, brother. Have a blessed, wonderful day.
How in the world, Terry, did you make this wonderful, I mean, and I know it's going to be long, drawn out, but you were in the music business, and then obviously you shifted to the insurance. But how in the world, dude, did you make this shift? I mean, I envy you. I compliment you for what you've done. My God, different products and tools. And I mean, well, I just want to say I've been following you for a number of years, and I'm not the type of guy that follows somebody, quite frankly. I think the world of you, and for whatever it's worth, I really envy what you've built.
Thank you. The opportunity, this is the opportunity I was looking for, an honest person coming out there and helping a bunch of folk and putting everything in perspective and having the better business rating. Some of the stuff I did know, but I didn't know what's the regular way to go about. You have done a great job laying things out for an average person to come out there, take and make his life much better. Thanks for doing all this stuff, man. The moment I saw your video and went through a couple of them, I said, I'm signing up with this person. There's somebody like you coming down to the ground and explaining things. The back office that you've done, man, that's great. One should have a patience to develop that kind of a system and a real courage to make that available to the public. So really hats off to you on that. You've done some very great things, Terry.
Well, hello there. This is Lori Brown, a.k.a. Miss Spelling Bee. And I just want to wish TW3 a happy 12th birthday. What an amazing group. What an amazing legacy. And I'm so thankful and proud to be part of it. Thanks, Terry.
So you have to look at TW3 from your own perspective, right? Mm-hmm. To get what you need out of it. But the thing I like about the way Terry designed it, and Terry will tell you that he's just a good old boy, not too bright, blah, blah, blah. Don't let that shit fool you.
Don't buy that.
He's a genius, okay?
Yeah, don't buy that story.
and when you find a genius, you want to stay close to a genius and learn from that guy, okay?
Hope some of that rubs off.
That's why I befriended Terry. That's why I came a TW3 member. But, the thing that I have always struggled with, I'm a great salesperson. I can sell you ketchup popsicle if you're wearing white gloves. I can do that. That's who I am. But what I can't do is find you to begin with, right? So that's what I needed TW3 to teach me. I needed to know, how do I find the person so that I could sell them that ketchup popsicle, right?
Yep.
TW3, the training taught me how to do that. All of the different things. They take you step by step through it in order to teach you how to do those.
12 years. Are you kidding me? The government tells us most small businesses are here and gone within 5 years. And here's TW3 more than doubling that. I want to take a second and thank TW3 for what TW3 has done for me. Jim Rohn said, don't wish it were easier, wish you were better. And how I equate that to TW3 is, I have now acquired over the last couple of years an arsenal of tools to promote and improve my business. In fact, I've started a second business based on these tools. I have an inventory of training that is unbelievable and second to none. And bigger than all of that, I have an army of people within the TW3 family. They help and they applaud not only my progress, but everybody's. And, if you put those two things together, you can't help but get better. And getting better means learning from those tools, taking the education, asking the people who have been there before, and then implementing. So for that, I can say nothing more than thank you, TW3. Thank you, Terry Wilson, for what you've done for me and for what you've done for thousands across this country.
This is Mark Ian Griffin, a.k.a. Captain Quackenbush. We're actually out here shopping for RVs thanks to TW3 and opening us up to this world of online marketing.
Hi, this is Linda Wilson Gordon, a.k.a. Legendary Linda, out here on the far left coast in beautiful Seattle. I'm so happy to be a part of this family. You know, I was really cautious at first. I started TW3 while I was still working my day job, but after 6 weeks, I resigned and never looked back.
There, and look what you did there, and you can't do that. And who are you, Terry? Who are you to go and talk to hundreds of people about business? You're a failure. You went bankrupt. Well, let me tell you something. I figured out a way not to do business. And you need to know this.
Inspiring, informative, and entertaining talk and music. You're listening to TW3 Radio.
How could a man hit a target he could not see? That's a pretty good question. Here's another one. How can you hit a target you do not have? Besides, planes are built for flying. Ships are built for sailing. Houses are built for living. And man, too, was built for purpose. He was designed for accomplishment. He's engineered for success. He's endowed with the seeds of greatness. And the greatest danger we as human beings have is when we do not do anything at all. People today complain of lack of time. It's not lack of time that's the problem, it's the lack of direction. Are you a wandering generality, or are you a meaningful specific? Are you going to work tomorrow because that's what you did yesterday? If that's the reason you're going tomorrow, you won't be as good tomorrow as you were yesterday because you're 2 days older and no closer to the goal you do not have. What about you personally? Have you got your goals laid out? Are you a meaningful specific, or are you a wandering generality?
See, you are part of an equation, and you are needed. Part of why we should begin to look at how we give up our lives, that we've got to begin to see, what is it that I'm supposed to do? What is my life work? And then give ourselves to that. Because as we do that, ladies and gentlemen, I guarantee you, as you begin to take on this new era that we're in, if you decide that I'm going to begin to start living life, I'm going to start giving more of myself, I'm going to start putting out more, contributing more to life. Here's what's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. I guarantee you that life will take on a whole new meaning for you. I guarantee you that life takes on a whole new dimension, that you'll be happier, you have a greater sense of happiness and fulfillment in life, that now you will begin to take off on some new paths to some newer horizons, that you'll begin to see life totally different than most people.
You got to have those long-range goals. And the rule is a simple one. You go as far as you can see. And when you get there, you'll always be able to see further. Are you a wandering generality, or are you a meaningful specific?
And most of us go through life because we're not using that which we've been given, that we are punished, that we're going through life getting up in the morning with no reason to get up. There's a scripture, when I heard it, I couldn't understand it. I say, how cold? He that hath shall get, and he that hath not, even that he has shall be taken away. He that hath a generous view of life, he that has courage, he that hath initiative, he that hath resourcefulness.
I say it with all of my heart. I know in my mind that man was designed for accomplishment, that he's engineered for success, that he is endowed with the seeds of greatness.
You're listening to TW3 Radio, inspiring, informative, and entertaining talk and music for the entrepreneur and small business owner.
Why is it that people don't want
to grow? Why is it that they just settle for being less than what they are capable of being? Why is it they shy away from doing their stuff and challenging themselves and taking life on and making it an exciting adventure? Why is it? Because living your dream, it's hard, ladies and gentlemen. It's hard living your dream. We are in charge of our attitudes. And when you're in charge of your attitude, you say, if it's hard, then do it hard. I won't allow this to stop me. I don't have the option of easy. I don't have the option, and I don't think you do, or any of us do, of going around trying to find a dream that's a little dream that doesn't require much responsibility or not too stressful or won't be too much of a hassle. No, no, no. I am convinced that life is 10% of what happens to me and 90% of how I react to it. An optimist sees an opportunity in every calamity. A pessimist sees a calamity in every opportunity. What can make it okay? Your attitude about it. That you decide that this is not going to determine who I am. Charles Swindoll said about attitude, he said, the longer I live, the more I realize the impact attitude has on life. Attitude to me is more important than facts. It is more important than the past, than education, than money, than circumstances, than failures and successes, than what other people think or say or do. It is more important than appearances, giftedness, or skill. The remarkable thing is we have a choice every day regarding the attitude we will embrace for that day. We cannot change our past. We cannot change the inevitable. The only thing we can do is play the one string we have, and that is our attitude.
If there's anything in life that you don't currently have right now, it's because of who you are and how you think. And I know you're strong enough to do it because you're human. And every human has what it takes to get past whatever they're going through if they decide to. Push through it. Push through it. Tragedy and trials come to everybody. Only the strong survive. Y'all running from pain. Y'all running from challenges. You telling me how difficult your life is. Do you understand it is the difficulty that's going to prepare you and take you to that next level? I'm here just like you here, and I promise you, I ain't leaving without the degree. I will not leave without that goal. I will not leave without that dream. I will not leave this university until I'm successful. I will not leave this job. I will not leave this client. I will not leave this opportunity until I get it.
You're listening to TW3 Radio, inspiring, informative, and entertaining talk and music for the entrepreneur and small business owner.
Look what you did there, and you can't do that. And who are you, Terry? Who are you to go and talk to hundreds of people about business? You're a failure. You went bankrupt. Well, let me tell you something. I figured out a way not to do business. And you need to know this. And Les tells a story about where he was playing Connect Four. I don't know if y'all know Connect Four, but it's this little checkers game that you play. And he's playing with his son, and he's playing. He played for hours with his son. And he says, son, I'm ready to go to bed. I'm tired. He says, Dad, one more game. And he said, son, I'm bored. I'm tired. He goes, listen, it's not over until I win. And finally his son won, and they could quit playing. And he says, Les says, how many of us would find so much more success if we'd have the attitude of that little child? It ain't.
Welcome to TerryWilson3.com, home of TW3, the most powerful marketing tools, training, and technology on planet Earth. Planet Earth. Get ready to earn, enjoy, and experience more than you ever dreamed was possible. If you're tired of just getting by and ready to really thrive, then buckle in and listen up. Here's your host, Terry Wilson.
Thank you, Keith. This is Terry Wilson, and you are listening to TerryWilson3.com. This is episode 428. Tonight, we're talking about branding and how you need to develop a personal brand. And to be honest with you, you have a brand, whether you realize it or not. The way you carry yourself, the way you speak online, and the way you post things on the internet. It all goes into building that brand. So even if you're not in business, I want to tell you something. Your promotions at work, being hired or offered a new or better job, opportunity to join a group, invitations to come speak, invitations to come present something, opportunities to meet other people of influence, all of these are based on how others perceive you. So what drives perception from others? The way you speak, present yourself, appear in print, copy, online, social media, in person, or simply put, your brand. Now, you don't have to be perfect. God, nobody's perfect. Look, I mean, I guarantee you before this is over with, I'll mispronounce something. Thank God they don't see the show notes or they'd see how I spell. But, it's not about perfection. It's about being congruent with who you are and understanding that.
I tried to play it off. There's no way to get around it.
Are you okay?
I was like, maybe if I cover my nose. And instead I just spit in River's general.
See, that's what I mean. You don't have to be perfect. You just got to be you and understand who you are. I mean, we are live here, Reagan. Don't worry.
Don't worry about it. It's all good.
When I first heard someone say to me that I'm a brand, I really had to stop and think about it, but because it just didn't sound right. But at the time, I wasn't in business or an entrepreneur at the time. So what did this have to do with me? But the more and more I thought about it, especially in the era of social media that we live in now, the more I'm convinced it is true. So tonight, that's what we're talking about. If you want to get a better job, if you're looking out there for a job, if you're wanting to get hired or promoted, if you're wanting to improve the business that you have, because this is an entrepreneur space that we work in and a show that caters to that area, then it's all about branding. So that's what we're going to talk about. But before we get into that, Reagan and the boys have got, and River have got some announcements to make.
The Wilson boys, the Reagan boys.
The Reagan boys, yeah, don't bring that up. River's already giving me a hard time over that.
The Reagan boys.
Here we go. First he said the boys, and then River.
And then River.
Excluding me from the boys.
There's two of me.
There was no innuendos meant, son.
If you have any questions, be sure to put those in the chat section. We'll answer it live on the show or try to answer it in the chat. If you're listening to this podcast and would like to join our live chat when we're recording our podcast, then text the word TW3 podcast to 38470 on your mobile device, and links will be sent out to you when we go live.
If you would like to enter to win the new book, Warning Opportunity Ahead, How to See and Provide Value During COVID-19, then share the podcast now on your favorite social media platform, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. Is that how you pronounce it?
LinkedIn. Yes,
LinkedIn.
Okay. And we will enter you to win. MySpace, yeah, that's classic. Make sure when you share the podcast, you do so with the hashtag TW3podcast428.
Now, River, I think you could do that with a lot more enthusiasm.
That is my most enthusiasm.
Sell it, man. Come on, sell it.
If you would like to
come
enter,
on,
please, and you're gonna want to read this book.
You're gonna want to.
Then share the podcast.
So you get these books for free as sermons.
Exactly. Yeah.
You live out these. River's like, you don't want to hear nothing to do with all this. So.
Fun fact about LinkedIn. Do you know who bought them in 2016?
Elon Musk.
No. Microsoft. Would you like to take a guess on how much they spent to buy it?
Probably in the billions.
Okay. So give me a number.
$36.
Over.
I would say 1.2 billion.
No, more.
You've got to be kidding.
So a friend told me yesterday they were bought for $26 billion. I didn't realize LinkedIn was that kind of.
Well, I will tell you, out of all the social media platforms that I use, now I'm not doing it for, catching up with so-and-so and talking my favorite whatever. I'm doing it for business purposes. As social media is just another stream of.
Yeah.
LinkedIn is the most powerful.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I hear. I just didn't realize it was worth that kind of money.
Well, yeah, because name one database that you can go to that has everybody that's in a particular industry, not only the industry, but a particular, like for instance, if I wanted to target realtors,
MySpace.
It's difficult to find. You're not going to find them on MySpace.
I don't know if you guys have ever been to MySpace, but you open somebody's page and they have the option where you can play music on your page. Yeah. So you're just bombarded with like awful music from early 2000s that nobody cared about.
Everybody's demo track is being promoted there. But yeah, I mean, because I use it all the time. Because if I'm looking for a specific type of person in industry, like for instance, realtors, then I can go LinkedIn. But then let's say I'm not only looking for realtors, but I'm looking for realtors in a particular business, like Century 21.
Oh, okay.
I can drill down that far. And then, okay, realtors, Century 21 in Charlotte, North Carolina. I can really drill down, and I've got all of their information, everything.
Gotcha.
And so when I'm doing ad copy, when I'm trying to engage them in a conversation about what we can do, I can really, it's not a generic form letter that goes out. Like, I know business in Charlotte right now is doing, and I can do some research. And I know you being with Century 21, they offer name a commission because I'm familiar with that.
Yeah.
But here's what I was thinking that you might consider looking at. So, I mean, you can really.
That's cool.
So LinkedIn's powerful.
That's cool.
Yeah. So, but we're talking about branding tonight, and we're talking about how to promote yourself and to put your best foot forward in front of people. And we're doing that in the context and the backdrop of, we all make mistakes. And I can tell you the one big mistake I made one time doing a promotion, and I don't know if I've shared this on the podcast or not before, but it was when I first started our music company. And I was so excited. I mean, we're going to have our own music company, and we're bringing it. It started off in Charlotte, and we brought it back to our hometown there. And so I was just super excited about doing this grand opening. It's going to have, some major artists like Ricky Skaggs and different people there, bringing in a whole sound crew and backstage. Man, we were just going to blow out the doors. I contacted the Fender and Marshall and all of these different companies and got promos to bring in and things. We was giving away Marshall amps. We were giving half off on grand pianos by Yamaha. We were doing all kinds of things just to really blow it up and get it promoted that, hey, we're here in this area. And so I spent all of this money on getting the backstaging and the back line for it, getting the artist there, promoting it, the print, radio, TV, all of that. Here's what yours truly, the marketing guru here, forgot to do. Just a couple details I left out in all the print.
The address, maybe?
Time.
Oh.
Location.
That's, yeah, not important.
And place. Time, location, and date.
That's a problem. That's a problem.
It was a problem.
That's a problem. Some people might tell you, it ain't no problem. Yeah, that's a problem.
No, that's a problem.
That's a problem.
It's all this money, all of this stuff. Now, fortunately, we made a big enough splash by shutting down Main Street and having all this stuff. We still got some, but all of that marketing.
Now, did that happen to be the same event where you also broke your windows because of the...
Yes.
Okay. I do remember that because we had duct tape on the windows.
Yeah, because
so the store,
just the sound pressure of the subs.
The whole front of the store was just this glass pane. You could look right into the store. It was like this hallway made of glass. It was really cool.
Yeah.
And they put subs out there for the show. Big promotion. I don't know if you guys know this. There's frequencies and material objects, and when you meet that frequency, it can crack it.
Hey, you can't move people unless you move air.
Yeah.
I've always said that.
Yeah. So that was funny.
But, that's the thing about it, man. You're going to make mistakes, and that was making a mistake with, doing a marketing campaign. But even the way you represent yourself and the way you brand yourself,
the
way you come across on social media.
I think your saving grace is if you're putting out all 50% off on this specific amp, this location, like, even though you may only mean it for a certain period of time, people are still like, oh, that's really cool. I'll go check it out. It might be the next day, but that's still.
Well, it created problems because, we only got a rebate from manufacturer for a certain date. So it wasn't like we could offer that for this unlimited. Now, it did make some, it did make some splash there. We got some attention and people coming in days later, weeks later, wanting the same. And we had to explain. But
gotcha.
So it helped, but it hurt.
You put your best foot forward. It wasn't thought out, but...
Well, it was thought out. It was just not proofed. Yeah. I didn't have Miss Spelling Bee. Miss Spelling Bee, where were you?
Yeah, she could have helped you for sure. There's not even grammatical errors, just more of key information there.
Well, tonight in segment 2, what we're going to do, folks, is we're going to bring up, I've got about a 15 to 17 minute training here that I want to offer you guys. And it goes into, the benefits you're going to have by building a strong personal brand. And I'm going to go into some steps on how to do that. It's so important. I mean, in today's world, would you believe employers are looking at people's social media accounts?
I can believe it.
Some
people go on roofs. I mean, it's weird. Like they'll break on.
Have you heard of that?
That's weird.
It's weird. People will.
Let me ask a philosophical question because I don't want to get specific.
Right.
This is all
hypothetical.
Yeah. If you were in theory, hypothetically,
right.
If you were doing something that some people could deem as skirting what could be legal,
right?
Because there's different degrees of legality. Some things are like really, you do this, you
schedule 1 and then schedule 4.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
There's degrees.
Right.
So I don't want to make this out like it was like first degree murder. It's definitely
like $450 ticket. Yeah, it wasn't.
No. It's nothing like that. But if talking in the context of branding,
right,
and you're wanting to make sure that you're the most employable person that you could present yourself as,
right,
and you're the most professional person a person would want to deal with, hypothetically, in theory, if you were doing something that some could deem, I don't know if that's legal, would you take a picture of it and post it on social media?
In theory, the answer is yes.
And personally, yes.
Because
I have.
From a grammatical sense, if you've done something, you technically, would you do this? Is like, well, I have done this, so yes, I actually would do something like that.
Let's talk about this at a more practical standpoint. Personally, what I would do in this hypothetical situation,
in theory,
I would create 2 separate accounts.
Okay.
One's called a main and one's called a spam. The main is how I want to look, how I brand myself. This is a clean cut, teenager.
Yeah.
Who really cares about people, who's charismatic, and just
shaking hands with the sheriff that gave you the ticket.
Exactly. Great guy. Stanley, shirt off his back.
Love Stanley. 3 kids.
Love that guy.
Great family.
And then I would
didn't let me off.
If I were to skirt on the edges, I would create a second account with perhaps maybe 50 followers. Nothing too big, just personal friends.
Yeah.
This is where I would post my illegal content. Right.
If
hypothetically, obviously,
were I to do something like that.
Yes.
If I were to,
in theory, this is how I would do it.
In theory, I would create a private account to do that.
Well, I'm glad you have a plan.
Thank you. Me too.
Branding is important, River.
It is. It really is.
You only have one chance to make a first impression.
That's right.
And I hear things that are on the internet stay forever and can be found.
That's good.
That's good. Never heard that.
All right, guys, we'll be back right after this.
Don't laugh. It just encourages them.
Are you hiring or recruiting for your business? Do you know the neighbors that just moved in across the street? How about that teacher or coach that just started at your church or school? The good book says, know those who labor among you. And the best thing you can do to just make sure you're getting quality people around your business, around your school, around your neighborhood, around your life is to know those folks around you. And you can go to TerryWilson3.com/background and get a free background check on folks that you need to know what's going on. If you're hiring, you need to use TerryWilson3.com/background. If you are in the job market, you'll want to know what other people see and make sure the information is accurate. You can do that by going over to TerryWilson3.com/background. That's TerryWilson3.com/background. Hey, if you don't mind, I'd like to ask you a real quick question. Are you happy with your career? What you do? Who you work for? Who you work with? Are you happy with the industry you're in? If you're like most Americans, you would love to have your own business, your own opportunity to go and come as you would like, to make what you want. How would you like the opportunity to be in a viable business opportunity? There's no inventory, there's no gimmicks of, recruiting people and building up a leg and all that nonsense. There's no calling your friends, family, and foes. Matter of fact, there's no cold calling at all. You could do sales or non-sales and make money. Incredible pay, as a matter of fact, anywhere from $750 up to $18,000. Over 1 decade, TerryWilson3.com has been helping people just like you and me take their money, business, and life to all new levels. If you're ready to start building your dream rather than someone else's dreams, go to TerryWilson3.com. You are the brand. How to turn yourself into a brand. I think branding is the most important thing you can do for your entrepreneurial journey. Even if you're not an entrepreneur, even if you're not motivated by self-employment and self-discovery, understanding that how you are perceived is going to have a huge impact on your employability, on whether you get a raise, on whether you get invited to different opportunities. Those all go into how you are perceived, and perception is driven by what people think about how you carry yourself, your imagery, your quote unquote branding. So why you should brand is because your professional and personal advancement in life, especially in a social media laced lifestyle that most people are in, it is contingent on people's perspective and perceptions of you. So branding is of the utmost importance, even if you're not in business. But there's 6 major benefits that you're going to get if you are in business and you are branded correctly. There are 6 major fast benefits that you will see immediately once you have properly branded yourself. Number 1, you will connect faster to your natural audience, the people that you're going after, the people that you want to do business with. They're going to be attracted to you when you have your branding out there correctly, and it is conducive of who you are, and it reveals who you are, and they are not confused about what you offer, what you're about, your character, what your passions are. They're not confused about that, because when you're branded correctly and you're putting your branding out there, that this is who I am, this is what I'm passionate about, this is what I like, this is my name, this is my love, and it all comes together in a very elegant way with colors and with proper fonts and with all the things that go into proper branding. Your avatar, your ideal client, is immediately going to connect with you faster. And there's a scientific reason for that. You see, science shows and tells us that people literally sort of figure out within seconds, I mean milliseconds, whether they will do business with us or not. It's that whole fight or flight mentality that it's in our innermost beings of our early man. I mean, the reason you and I crawled out of a jungle and didn't get eaten by lions, tigers, and bears, oh my, is because of that whole fight or flight. Is this thing that I'm looking at here, is this thing that I'm observing, is this person in front of me, are they here to help me, or are they here to hurt me? And sometimes you could be with all the best intentions, but because of your imagery, because of your branding, the person has misjudged you, and you don't even have the opportunity to convey to them and to show them and to influence them with what your value proposition is. So proper branding is going to help you connect faster to your ideal clients, and it's actually going to help you filter out and reject your non-ideal clients. And number 2, it's going to help you evolve and adapt quicker. Personal brands can evolve and adapt more easily when they are properly constructed. When you develop a strong personal brand, you are way more flexible about your products, your goods, and your services you offer, because because your brand is about you and not the product. See, TW3 started off in just the insurance space, but has evolved to be in hundreds of different industries, offering thousands of different products. Why? Because the brand was about the individual. That is my story, my passions, and my drive. From insurance back then to everything in between, even selling hats nowadays. TW3 has always been about the person, the story, the passion, not about the products. So when you are branded correctly, that is, you're focusing your branding on who you are and not on what you do, you're going to be able to evolve and adapt through any economy, through any up and down, through any changes in industry, any marketplace, anything that you need to do, you're going to be able to do and do quickly and evolve and adapt because the branding is focused on what it should be, which is you. Number three, the third benefit you're going to see is you're just going to enjoy your investing in your brand at this point. You see, if you're branded about this product that I sell, if you're branded about this thing that I do, then you're always compartmentalized. Okay, when I'm spending my time, my energy, my money about being Terry, the insurance guy, then over here, this is my insurance time, and this is the money I spend on being the insurance guy, and this is the time and creative energy and time on the calendar that I'm using to be insurance guy. But then when I'm doing that, I'm neglecting and I'm not being Terry the dad, Terry the husband, Terry the friend, Terry the whatever. I'm compartmentalized. But when I am Terry, TW3, I am myself. I am who I am. I am the guy that just loves life. I am the guy that's wanting to set people up to be prosperous in everything they do. I'm the guy that's wanting to help people discover who they are, develop the skill sets that it takes to get to where they want to go, and monetize the journey. When I'm properly branded, then all of a sudden my entire life is congruent. Now every time I buy a book, build a blog, or go on vacation, or post on social media, my entire daily activity and life in general is doing one thing: building my personal brand. When you are employee X that works for business Y, then you have a life, like I said, that's just compartmentalized. That means activities are now in separate boxes, and every time you spend time, money, resources, energy, and creativity in one box, you're neglecting the other. But see, having my brand focused on me, being a personal brand, it builds around my entire life, and my entire life becomes in one congruent activity. Now, when I go across the country in an RV, or hop a flight to Scotland, or spend a month in Florida with friends, or do this podcast with my friends and family, I'm doing one thing and one thing only: building a brand, because my brand is built on my life and my personal branding. And it also allows me to be flexible. Number 4, personal brands allow you to stay flexible. When you have a personal brand, you have the flexibility to pursue every interest you have. Whether I'm playing golf, riding a bike, taking cooking lessons, or enjoying a ball game. Everything I do in life can be a story, can be an experience, can be a podcast, can be a picture posted that goes right into building the brand of TW3. And that's because it's a personal brand. Number 5, it gives me power. When you have a personal brand, you have the power to charge a premium and negotiate on your terms. Let me give you a little inner baseball here, if you will, a little inner psychology when it comes. Freelancers, independent contractors, people that are self-employed. Well, self-employed, freelancers, independent contractors, they have a perceived value. But a brand gives the appearance of something larger than just an individual. It's a company. It's an entity. It's a whole organism behind it. And people perceive value higher in branded businesses, branded individuals, than they do just individuals by themselves. You can charge a premium. You'll have the power to charge more when you're properly branded. You also have greater control over your business and your life. Not only do you have the power of the business imagery that your branding can create and the impact of a major corporation looking great online, but a major asset to being properly branded is you have the flexibility of still being a single individual. So I have the imagery of a large, impactful organism, but I have the control and the flexibility and the autonomy and the sovereignty of just one person. That is the power of having a strong personal brand. So why brand yourself? Because you're going to make more. You're going to experience more. You're going to enjoy more. And you can look at large corporations, individuals, anybody in between, and you can see how branding over the years has made a major impact on the entire world. Don't believe me? Look at Coca-Cola. There are tons of soft drinks out on the market. There's all kinds of soda companies that you can buy drinks from. But I would argue Coca-Cola has to be the most recognizable brand on planet Earth for over 100 years now. However, it don't stop there. Their branding is so powerful. It has made influences outside of even their own industry. It has made an impact on pop culture, pop music even. My favorite group, as many of you know who listen to this podcast and are friends of mine, is the group Chicago. In 1967, they started as music majors out of DePaul University, trying to make this experimental concept of having just a rocking band with the guitar tones and sounds and sensibilities of a Jimi Hendrix, with a grooving rhythm section and a horn section that would just cut your head off. But they wanted a brand. They wanted something so strong that when you saw it, it was like Coca-Cola. You knew what you were getting because it was so powerful. And so they hired a logo designer that was heavily influenced by the look of Coca-Cola to design the entire Chicago logo. And for years, many people didn't even know what the band looked like, but they knew that logo. So branding is so powerful. When you see Apple Computers brand, you know exactly what to expect. When you see the golden arches of McDonald's, you know what to expect. Branding conveys so much with just one image. So here are 7 tips I want to give you on how to brand yourself better. Number 1, research your audience. Number 2, pick your focus and personality of your brand. Number 3, choose your business name and choose it wisely. Number 4, choose your slogan. Number 5, choose your colors and fonts and stay consistent. Number 6, choose your logo. And number 7, and finally, apply this then across everything, every piece of marketing, every piece of content, every asset that you have, put your branding on it. Your audience, when I say choose your audience, simply this: who is going to find the most value out of what you have to say and offer? Who do you have the most rapport with and the authority to speak with? Don't cop out and say, like so many, oh, I just want to be able to serve everybody I come in contact with. Well, great, but not everybody you come in contact with is going to find value in what you do. Not everyone that comes in contact with you is even going to like you. And that's okay. You need to understand who you are. You need to understand who likes who you are. And that needs to be your audience that you focus on. Number 2, personality. Who are you? And be okay with it. I'm constantly just putting it out there. My cadence, my dialect, the way I carry myself, my sense of humor, everything about me is out there with my brand. And it just does so much for me. Number 1, it allows me to be me. And I can always be me, even on my worst day. But number 2, the people that do find credibility, do find humor, do find value in my personality, well, they love it. and they're drawn to it. But just as important, people that are irritated by it, people that don't like it and dismiss it, they are repelled by it. And it helps me in my business because if they don't like me on the front end, probably not going to like me on the back end either. Your name. I'm a huge proponent of naming your business, naming what you're doing after you. You know, the good book says a good name is worth more than silver and gold. It's not because of ego I named TerryWilson3.com and TW3 after me. It's not because I had just no mistakes in my life. Matter of fact, it's well documented of my mistakes. But I embrace my mistakes and I say, here's where I've messed up. Here's where I think I can help you so that you don't make the same mistakes. You can turn a negative into a positive if you learn from it. Don't run from your name, embrace it. Slogan, make sure it's brief, it's concise, and it speaks right to what you're about. Not necessarily your product, not necessarily your service, but your overarching, what do you do? That's why I put discover, develop, and monetize. Because no matter what it is, whether it's a blog today, a bulk texter tomorrow, a bulk dialer the next day, social media marketing the next day, it really doesn't matter what the tool is. At the end of the day, I want to be able to help people discover what they're passionate about, what they love. I want to help them develop skill sets, mindsets, and technological ability to then pursue that in the marketplace today. And then through that process, I want to show them how to monetize that engagement. Discover, develop, monetize. Doesn't matter if the technology changes the next week. I'm still doing the same thing. Use colors and fonts that are consistent. Get you a color palette. Use companies like Canva.com and others, and then stay consistent with your fonts. And just a side note, more and more people find less and less value in cursive type writings. So use some of the more cleaner fonts. Logo. If you want a quick design tip, here's what you could do as a personal brand. A headshot, a caricature of yourself, a signature of yourself with a headshot. These are all simple and easy to do, and they're very distinctive. That's just an idea. You don't have to do it. You can go out and pay a design artist to come up with a nice logo, but in the time being, you might want to just use a caricature of yourself or a headshot of yourself. But I would use something that conveys who you are. Me personally, I went after the initials, TerryWilson3.com, and just shortened it to TW3. Made that my logo, and that has been adopted as the business name. And then liberally apply that to all the content. Once you have developed a strong personal brand and you've got your logo, you've got your name, you've got your slogan, you've got everything put together, then make sure you put it on all your content because you are the brand. So I want to tell you about a new service that I'm excited about. You know, you probably have heard the old adage, a picture's worth 1,000 words. Well, that is true when it comes to your logo. That goes into your branding. Who are you? What are you about? What turns you on? Who are you after? What do you offer? All of those things are conveyed in one image, in one picture. And we have got a special offer where you can go over to terrywilson3.com/logo. And with this software, you've got hundreds and hundreds of templates to go by. And you can pick, drop, drag. You don't have to be a design artist, a graphic designer to use this. It's so simple. And no matter what industry you're in, you're going to be able to find a template that's going to convey your message. So go over to terrywilson3.com/logo. That's terrywilson3.com/logo and get your message out today. Are you looking for a job? You know, searching for a job has put you in one industry already. And I'd like to be the first to say, Welcome to sales. But now, instead of selling a product, good, or service, you're selling yourself. Go over to TerryWilson3.com/resume. There you will find a system and software that will help you build the resume to get you noticed. It will show you what keywords work and what keywords do not work, so you shouldn't use them. That's at TerryWilson3.com/resume. It's going to show you how to get noticed. It's going to show you how to get more interviews, but you've got to go over to TerryWilson3.com/resume now.
He can't guarantee you success, but he sure can help you eliminate the excuses made so far for not achieving them. Now back to the TW3 studio with Terry Wilson.
All right, so we're back. We're talking about branding. We're going to get to your questions here in a second, but there's been a little bit of news for the NBA. NBA season started. I know MLB season started.
Yeah.
I think branding is important there. I mean, you can kind of tell, all the commercials, they definitely got a certain image they want to portray. There's,
they want to appease their audience.
Sure.
That's watching.
They know what their branding is.
And you can tell who their audience is by the commercials.
Oh, yeah.
And even some of the political stances.
For sure.
You can see.
They know what their brand is. They know what their product is. They know who's watching that product.
Right.
I think a certain franchise that's not doing well right now, and I would say a lot of it has to do with branding. I know for me personally, I'm just turned off by the branding, is the WNBA, actually. So NBA is probably one of the most profitable businesses in America right now, especially in
what
sports.
does the W stand for? Is that where the...
That's the women's NBA.
It's not the white guys playing.
No, it's not the handicap on that.
I thought this is where they give short white guys like me a chance.
We already have that. It's called the foreign NBA. It's
I got
you. Euro League or whatever. No, this is the WNBA, which, funny enough, because if our current commissioner, I'm part of the NBA.
Yeah, our current commissioner. I was speaking to him yesterday.
Called him up. But no, Adam Silver is the current NBA commissioner. I think if you took a popularity contest, he's very widely liked by the players, by the fans. He's widely accepted, and people like him.
Unlike the commissioner in football.
Right, who's not liked by anyone on any party.
I don't even watch football.
Any party affiliation. I don't know of anybody that likes him, to be honest, which is funny.
Ironically, his last name's Goodell.
Yeah, I know. But no, everybody really likes Adam Silver. And a lot of what he's been talking about is, getting more fans into the WNBA, which you wouldn't guess the WNBA's biggest market. At least maybe because I said that you could, but imagine who watches mostly the WNBA, what their biggest fan base is right now.
Well, I would have to imagine women. I mean, I'm just guessing because...
Yeah, you would think, right?
I would think women because...
And that's a noble thing to do. You want little girls to grow up and think...
Sure, I would
want them to be able to...
moms would be watching it with their daughters.
Sports are good for people. It teaches a lot of life lessons. You want to get...
Something to
little
shoot
girls
for.
need to play... Yeah, little girls need to play sports too. But no, it's older white men. And that's because it's all fundamental basketball. So the same guys.
Well, that makes sense because I like college basketball more because it's more fundamental.
Now, that being said, though, the WNBA is in the trash can as far as their profitability. He talked about, what's the quarterly projections or whatnot.
Quarterly projections of viewership and
they've for the last 5 years lost about $2 to $3 million a season.
How is that sustainable?
The reason that they're still in business is because the NBA is so profitable. It's under the same umbrella. They take the revenue from the NBA and put it into the WNBA.
So they got the same model as sort of like Disney. Disney's park and movies are so profitable.
It funds the things that aren't profitable.
It funds the other parts.
Right. Which, once again, I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. If there's a possibility that maybe one day it is popular and people like it. I know for people like me, though, I'm a big fan of the NBA, and part of the reason I like NBAs is because I think it's the closest thing you can get to watching superheroes. You've got these.
Oh, yeah. I mean, because they can fly.
Yeah, it's like freak of nature athletes that.
Well, it's the athleticism, it's the pace. I mean, that's always been the knock against baseball. It's slow compared to
local superstar Zion Williamson. He's from our area,
right? Zion Williams.
Yeah, he's 6'8".
The only mistake I ever seen that kid make was where he went to college. I don't know why he didn't go to Carolina.
Well, he knew he was going to do the one and done, so he didn't have to worry.
That one and done. One and done might be on here tonight.
But recently, a lot of players have been trying to push, and it goes back. It ties into our branding. I know for me, like, this is such a huge turnoff because we've got NBA players that have come out and tried to support WNBA players. You know, Andre Iguodala posted something on Twitter where he was saying, hey, number 16 from the Mystics is nice. That's his way of, I don't know what her number is, but that's his way of saying, like, you know, hey, this player's really good. Like, you guys should be watching. And she fired back on Twitter, like, say my name, don't disrespect me like that or something. Like, just out of the blue. Like, and if you thought...
She's never been called by her number before?
I guess her thing was, you know, you can take 2 seconds to look up her name, which maybe that's true, but you also got to look like, was there any ill intent by saying, hey, this is a good player? Like, no. I know for Luka Doncic, he was pulling for the Rookie of the Year on the WNBA. They had a vote for their Rookie of the Year.
I'm just trying to think back when I played sports. And the ref goes,
oh yeah, anytime I've played sports, if you don't know,
I've got holding on number 9 here. I'm like, hey, the name.
Yeah, of course. Well, not even from a ref standpoint, but like, these are player to player. Like, have you ever been on the bench and you have like the other guy on the team, his name
all the time,
and he's super good, and you're like, oh, we need to look out for number 20. Like that.
Come on, number 9. Come on, number 9.
Yeah, the thing is, if you looked up her stats, she's averaging like 10 points a season. Like, she's basically a bench player. Like, I don't know why.
Sounds like she has more swagger than she has swing, as we say in baseball.
But it's such a congruent thing in the WNBA. I feel like the only time I really hear from them is them dismissing NBA players, like saying, oh, well, he didn't buy tickets to a game anyway. Why is he supporting this player? Like, and that's coming from actual WNBA players.
Morons.
It's branding, though.
Yeah.
Like, think about that. That, for me, it's like, well, not only is it not necessarily, for me, I'm not saying it can't be, but it's not enjoyable to watch. I feel like I could get more value out of a high school boys team, honestly, because they can play above the rim.
Well, I can tell you one thing as far as someone who consumes sports, and I think this is across the spectrum with anything.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like doing business, investing, giving money to an entity, whether it be a sports team, whether it be a restaurant, whether it be where the person you can just tell doesn't like their job and is constantly complaining about it?
Well, see, that's the
it's not enjoyable.
Yeah,
that's what happened to baseball in the mid-90s when they went on strike.
Yeah, nobody wanted to.
Baseball, it took a while to recover because you got all these rich people, these millionaires complaining about whatever, and it turned the fan base off. Nobody likes being around people that just, I mean, you're living the best life that most people would ever, and you got room to complain.
Well, it goes to show too, because it's like, well, who's going to be their market? It's like, you'd think it'd be women, but I mean, maybe just women aren't into watching as many sports right now. I'm not saying there aren't women out there that like it, but the market is showing that that's not who's going to watch your games. It's men, specifically old white guys. That
if old white guys are the ones keeping up the WNBA, I don't know if complaining helps with that demographic.
No, and that's the whole thing. It's like, I won't watch it. Like, for me, it's like, I know all you guys are going to do is complain about, you know, how much the NBA players are making, even though that they're technically paying your paychecks at all. Like, it's branding. Branding's important.
Branding and the way you present yourself, the people perceive. And here's the other thing that I've had to appreciate, because I used to fight it. It's not just a matter of who you are in reality, but who you are perceived to be.
Right.
That's probably more important than the latter, in the fact that, not that I, you know, because I've always gone back to the North Carolina mantra, Esse quam videre, the Latin term that was the motto of North Carolina, which I love. And it basically means, the Latin means to be rather than seem to be. But we live in an age, if you want clients, if you want a raise, if you want to be hired, if you want whatever, I'm telling you, the way, and I don't understand people that just free willy-nilly say anything, do anything, post anything.
Freedom. I live in America.
I got freedom. Yeah, you got freedom, but you got consequences. You know, it's just America. But anyway, I know we got questions, but I didn't realize that, Reagan.
Yeah. So let's see. We'll go ahead and get into some of these questions here. This first question, what is the difference between our RoboDialer and others on the market?
Yeah, well, most RoboDialers on the market you're going to find out there don't have a database tied to them, number one. And number two, a lot of them are illegal, the way they're constructed and how they will dial out people that's even on the do not call list. One of the things, we've married a database with our system, and we do it for you as far as setting it up, just as a safety precaution, so that you don't hurt yourself. Because I want to tell you, if you want to get pinched with the FCC, if you really want to get yourself hurt, let them catch you using one of those the wrong way. Now, there's a legal way, and we show you, and you can do it because our data is opted in, filtered, and scrubbed, and so you don't have a problem, and we're sort of there with you. But if you go out and use one of these systems that's just out on the market yourself, and you go start scraping leads or buying leads from whoever, and it's not a good list, you might be visited by Uncle Sam real quick. So that's the big difference. Plus, we're cheaper. I mean, ours is 2 cents a minute, and that includes the with the data and everything. I think you can dial 1,000 people for around $40 roughly. I don't know. So
it's about where it's at.
Yeah.
If I'm in insurance and want to generate leads, how will your market help me?
Well, our platform can help you. We got all these tools. I just mentioned the Robo Dialer, which is the database I just referred to, means that you can get a filtered, scrubbed data. What does that mean? What age, income, zip code do they have? So you know who buys your insurance, or at least you should. If you don't, you need to find out who is the avatar, who is the type of person that buys this particular type of insurance. What is their income, typically? Are they male or female? What is a good area to market to? And then once you have that, then you can, that's how our tools help you. Then our training comes alongside you and says, okay, you have the tools, but let me show you a more sophisticated way of using it. And I show you how to develop a script, to develop a marketing campaign that will actually convert, and those things. We have that in step 7. So we don't just provide you with the technology, but we come alongside you with the training via video. And then if you're an elite member, you can come to the mastermind groups on Wednesday nights and speak with me live there. But that's how this platform, and it's not just a one tool system, it's multiple tools, because multiple types of people have to be engaged differently. Some people, I would say, use a voice broadcaster or a robo dialer, but that's only good for a certain small segment of society. Most people, I'm going to say email, social media, and text marketing is the best way, but just depending on who you're going after as to what we would recommend. But here again, you have the tools and you have the training to go alongside it so that you can find success the best.
What is the APS product, and how do I, as a member, make $18,000 from it?
Yeah, so APS stands for Agency Platform System. This is something that only our elite members can sell. And it's basically taking the entire TW3 platform, systems, and software, white labeling it and putting it under your brand or your client's brand for you. And when you resell it, you get an immediate commission of $12,000, and then you get $500 a month for the next 12 months that's rolled out to equal up to $18,000, because they're under contract for a year to have the system and have the platform. And there's a monthly admin fee that you get $500 out of for 12 months. That's an additional $600 on top, $6,000 on top of the $12,000 initial commission you make. So it's a pretty profitable thing for elite members. And we've got a lot of elite members that have made good money doing that.
Can you explain how your marketing system is different from other online marketing systems I've seen? Which I think that's a fantastic question. I mean, you see a lot of maybe advertisements for start your own at-home business out on the market right now. Yeah, well, number one, that's work from home opportunities, which that is a component. About 40% of our membership uses our platform to resell, so it makes it a business opportunity. But I would say the thing that makes us the most distinguishable between others is, well, several things. Number one, we're not just a one-trick pony. You know, most of these platforms, it's just they're promoting a bulk texter, and they're building their whole business around texting. Yeah, and they don't have the means to get you the data or the leads to text. Right. They don't have the means to drive it to anything. They have to go outside third parties for landing pages. We have everything in house. It's a holistic system, because one tool doesn't do everything. You've got to have a system, a series or suite of various tools. And so here again, I have a training, and I promote it a lot. People, product, process. Based on your people that you're going after, that's going to inform the process. And in your process, there's an engagement process, there's a capturing process, there's a follow-up process. That engagement is where most people fail right out of the gates, because they're trying to bulk text or bulk email a group of people that they should be trying to reach via social media, or vice versa. So we have all, a very holistic approach. I would say that's a big distinguishing
factor. Number two, I don't know of too many platforms that's been out on the market for over a decade like we have, going on 12 years. Number three, I think we're the strongest, and I didn't appreciate this until members just kept hammering me over it. And I hear it from our members, they find the most value out of our training than anything else. And I get that, because you can go get a blog anywhere. You can go get bulk text, the email system, CRM, all the things and components we have. You can go get another business opportunity anywhere. Yeah. What you can't get is our training and how to put it all together and all that. And so I know Miller Time, he's always saying, no, it's the training, Terry. The thing that you've got, the value proposition. And he goes back to how, that first year he came to the conference, and 12 months later, he's made over $250,000, and then he's already launched 2 more business. I mean, he's just knocking out, and we've got stories like him all over the map. Yeah. And it's because of the training. And so I got to give credence. I do, not to toot my own horn, I'm just going off of what other people say. A lot of our members find the value in our training, because here again, you can go buy a tool from anybody, anywhere, anytime, but how do you put it together? How do you make money with it? I think that's where we shine. So I hope that helped you guys. I hope we're able to answer some questions for you. We're going to be back right after this break here, and somebody is going to win the free book. That's right. So are you out there looking? I am. I don't see you sweating this.
I'm sweating it. It is a huge deal.
It's mental sweat. You can't see it, but it's there.
Exactly.
Mental perspiration. Is that what it is?
Exactly.
They call that water on the brain.
Yeah. Typically comes out as tears.
That's right. All right, guys. We'll be back right after this. Hey, if you don't mind, I'd like to ask you a real quick question. Are you happy with your career? What you do? Who you work for? Who you work with? Are you happy with the industry you're in? If you're like most Americans, you would love to have your own business, your own opportunity to go and come as you would like, to make what you want. How would you like the opportunity to be in a viable business opportunity? There's no inventory, there's no gimmicks of, recruiting people and building up a leg and all that nonsense. There's no calling your friends, family, and foes. Matter of fact, there's no cold calling at all. You could do sales or non-sales and make money. Incredible pay, as a matter of fact, anywhere from $750 up to $18,000. Over 1 decade, TerryWilson3.com has been helping people just like you and me take their money, business, and life to all new levels. If you're ready to start building your dream rather than someone else's dreams, go to TerryWilson3.com.
Listening to TerryWilson3.com. Inspiring, informative, and entertaining content for the entrepreneur and small business owner. And now, back to the TW3 studios with Terry Wilson.
All right. We are back, and we're ready to give some stuff away. So let me get over here. I think River has got someone that he wants to give our free. This is by the way, before we give this away, this is a brand new book. You can go to TerryWilson3.com and get right now. Now, I don't have the ebook version nor the print version. That'll be out in about 2 weeks, according to my publisher there, or my non-publisher, my person who is doing my editing and stuff. She'll have it all ready for me to be able to sell the Kindle version and the print version. But the book is entitled Warning, Opportunity Ahead, How to See and Provide Value During COVID-19, because, a lot of entrepreneurs and people right now are discouraged in the marketplace. And this is another thing. It goes back to that question you asked in the last segment going out before break. What makes us distinguishable between other business opportunities and other products? This business was birthed during a trying time, and so we seem to just really thrive during this. And so I go in a step-by-step training here of how I was able to help someone, didn't sell them anything, made over $3,200 and got them upright and loving life. And matter of fact, going to make a few more dollars with them in the coming weeks because of that interaction I had with them. But you're going to see all that in the training and the study. This is a training that came out of the You Are Worth More virtual conference. So if you guys have the video to the You Are Worth More virtual conference, you don't need to buy that because it's in that training package there. But if you didn't come to that conference and you'd like to get this training, it's in video and audio format right now, and you can go over to TerryWilson3.com and get that. But River, we're going to give it away right now. Who is the winner chicken dinner?
You got Jessica D'Angelo as the winner, so congrats to Jessica.
Jessica, thank you so much. We appreciate you. We appreciate you offering, your audience to us by sharing this podcast. We know, and we don't take that lightly. We try not to embarrass anybody that would share this podcast. We want it to be something that people thank you for sharing the podcast with. So thank you so much for doing that. And so it's a honor to have you, and we'll get that out to you. Go to TerryWilson3.com/contact. And I'll show you how to download that training right now. And basically, it's an audio book format right now with a slide deck is what you're getting. But eventually, we'll also have the Kindle version as well. So what are you guys? What's the big plans this week?
I'm going to lunch with somebody. Got asked to be my best man. That's what I'm doing today.
Oh, okay.
Dinner, but yeah.
Dinner. Okay, very good. So wedding planning. What's River going to do?
Probably going to climb on more roofs sometime this week.
Oh, you literally did that? I thought we was being hypothetical.
No, it's still hypothetical.
Hypothetically, I literally plan to do this.
Yeah. So
Dude, if you get caught, can I just give you one piece of advice?
Go ahead.
Get an attorney.
I already have one.
Okay.
Lined up.
Okay.
I want you to know that when I do this hypothetically, that I take every single precaution necessary.
I just don't want you literally representing yourself on things that you might have done hypothetically.
Totally understand.
I like when the cop's like, hey, why are you on this roof? And he's like, I'm not on this roof. Hypothetically, I'm on this roof, but literally, I'm right where you are.
Hypothetically, just tell me to leave and I'll leave.
You know that what was that comedian that did a thing where he was
Frank Caliendo? He's talking about Bill Clinton.
Bill Clinton. I am not here. What is here? In here, just there without a T.
It is.
You're going to go full Bill Clinton on him, huh?
The key in my philosophy, hypothetically, personally.
Sheriff Andrew's going to pull up again, huh? We're doing this again, huh?
It's
good to see you, Sheriff.
Right now, I'm not
How
the
the
legal
kids?
age. I'm not the legal
Sarah
age
doing
right
good?
now. So I'm trying to, my philosophy is to do as many almost illegal things before I'm hypothetically before I'm a legal age.
So I think the cliche is you're sowing your oats.
Yeah. Because right now, I think if a law enforcement officer were perhaps hypothetically to see me doing something like climbing on a roof, he would say, "Sir, do you understand you're not supposed to be here right now?" I say, "I was not aware. I can leave. I didn't see any do not
Gosh, I hope you didn't see this podcast beforehand. Otherwise, you don't have what's called plausible deniability.
This is what's called
burn it.
Hypothetical.
All right, guys. Thank you guys for coming out. I hope you got some value. Remember, brand yourself, and maybe that's taking a selfie while you're up on the roof of some empty business or church or facility that may or may not want you there. So
it is what it is.
It is what it is. We'll see you guys next time. Talk to you later.
Thank you for listening to TerryWilson3.com today. If you've decided you are worth more, then go to TerryWilson3.com now and get a free digital sample copy of the book. You are worth more. Listen, no one's going to give you what you're worth but you. So stop putting off and get started earning, enjoying, and experiencing what you are worth today. Go to TerryWilson3.com now to start your journey today. That's TerryWilson3.com.